The calls flood in, hundreds a day.
Fire, ambulance.
Fire! They've just struck a third alarm.
The crews rush out, ready for the worst.
We had a person that was struck by the train.
This is DC Fire and Emergency Medical Services, Washington's front line against disaster. Like you've never seen it before. Danger is part of the job.
This fire was with the firemen right there.
And the challenge is to keep people alive.
They're hanging at the back windows.
From inside this complex operation, this fearless force battles calamity. Day and night.
Panic and excitement is contagious.
And the clock is always ticking. Washington, D.C., center of the world's most powerful nation. And home to DC Fire and Emergency Medical Services. One of the busiest emergency response departments in North America. On a typical day, this force of more than 2,200 fire, rescue, and emergency medical personnel rush to more than 400 calls. And these guys get there fast. Within 2 to 3 minutes. One of the best response times in the nation. That's because DC Fire and EMS has the highest density of fire halls of any fire department in the U.S. 33 stations packed into the 109 square kilometers of the District of Columbia. And at the center of it all is Washington's 911 call center. This is the brains of the operation, a team of trained call takers and dispatchers working with a sophisticated computer dispatch program that selects the best and fastest response for each incident.
That was the problem. Tell me exactly what happened.
A real bad pain in my stomach.
Alita Humphreys is one of 20 responders who handle panicked calls when they come in.
Did you faint or pass out or nearly fainted? Yes.
Depending on the type of call, Alita runs through a predetermined set of questions that provide critical information about the incident. Demetrius Vlasopoulos is Deputy Chief Information Officer at DC Fire and EMS, and the department's expert on the 911 dispatch program.
They follow the protocol and they determine the level of fire and EMS response you need.
Is the pain above your belly button? Yes. Okay, I'm going to send the help out there. Repeat your address to make sure I got it right.
Based on the answers, the computer program selects an emergency response package and identifies the closest available units to be sent to the incident. The information is then transferred to one of the center's dispatchers.
Okay.
Within seconds, Levere Cruz reviews the package, then broadcasts it electronically and verbally.
6 medics to respond. Charlie Abdominal Pain, Department 6.
The dispatcher verbalizes the response from the dispatch radio channel, and everybody hears it.
The dispatch information also goes to electronic message boards at fire halls and inside emergency vehicles.
When they push a button, it bursts the data goes out over the airwaves and through the local area network.
This was a minor medical emergency requiring just one ambulance and an engine crew on the scene. A bigger incident triggers a bigger response. Like the call coming in now.
I can see an apartment building on fire.
Around what area?
Northwest DC.
It takes only a minute for the computer to come up with a response package and Levere Cruz to dispatch it.
Truck 3, Truck 9, Rescue Squad and Ambulance 9 respond. Report of apartment fire.
The alarm sounds at Chinatown Express, home of Engine 2, located downtown in the heart of DC's Chinatown. It's one of the region's busiest fire halls. Fire crews leap into action. Meanwhile, at the 911 center, more calls about the incident flood in.
police, fire, or ambulance?
Fire. The woman that was at work, I heard the smoke alarm went off. I got a key to her apartment, and it's on fire.
As additional information is gathered from subsequent 911 callers for the same event, those tidbits of information are very important.
Apartment 907. Hurry, man, it's on fire.
No matter how panicked the caller, it's Alita's job to stay calm.
We have them responding as we speak, okay? I'm not need for you to leave out right now.
All right.
Other 911 workers use satellite imagery to gather additional details, like the layout of the building and its height, so firefighters know exactly what they're facing. All this information is relayed electronically to the response team, arriving now. Just minutes after the alarm was called, the first unit gets to the fire and is met by a wall of flame. Battalion Chief Wayne Benson commands the first response.
Apparently the door to the fire department was left open, set the fire and all the heat smoke coming to the public hallway.
The open door allowed the fire to spread into the rest of the building. More help is needed. From the 911 center, dispatcher Levere raises a second alarm.
Engines 916.
Calling for more engines and an EMS crew to head to the scene. This man needs to know.
Is it occupied?
Chief Dennis Rubin, top dog of the DC Fire and EMS organization.
And what's the address?
He's on the Potomac River, overseeing a training session with his department's Marine Division.
Thanks.
But this apartment fire requires his immediate attention. Chief Rubin is ultimately responsible for every firefighter and every fire fought in DC. He's also the department's top political liaison, so it falls to him to give the bad news to Washington's mayor.
It's a 10-story apartment building. You ought to be able to see it. It's quite a column of smoke coming out of the apartment.
The chief knows there are dozens of firefighters en route to the fire, and he's got to join them. He calls a speedboat to get him to shore.
We try to overwhelm an incident on the front end so that we have the right people, the right equipment, the right training at the right place.
But an apartment fire is particularly dangerous. He fears the worst. People hurt or killed. And not just civilians.
More than 100 firefighters will die in the line of duty in a typical year, and about 100 to 150,000 are injured.
We gotta go visit.
The boat arrives to transport Chief Rubin to shore. On his way, the chief keeps close tabs on radio traffic.
And you just struck the third alarm, which indicates the fire is simply getting larger and more firefighters and more equipment are needed. This is going to be a major high-rise fire.
7 minutes after the first call came in, firefighters from across DC race to fight it. DC Fire and EMS is feeling the heat. Not just at this fire, but also across town, in front of the Capitol building. A political protest has ballooned beyond all expectation. Organizers planned for 60,000. But already 200,000 protesters packed the mall. And that number's growing. DC Fire and EMS is on hand to deal with any illness or injury at the event. But this crowd will seriously tax their resources.
Copy that, Gator 1. Mall command to car 10, come in.
From inside this mobile command unit, Assistant Fire Chief Larry Schultz directs dozens of EMS personnel moving through the rally.
3314, try your message again, it was broken up.
So we have a station down in the rear of the stage of the unit. Dispatch to that location.
Okay, person down at the rear of the stage.
But his medics are having a tough time plowing through the crowd to get to ailing protesters.
The problem is that 7th Street is completely closed with pedestrians and traffic, so the transport units are having problem navigating that.
Then, an ambulance calls in.
We now have a walk-up patient complaining of trouble breathing. Patient seems to be responding, but be advised, I now have 3 patients in my unit, and we're currently at max. We also advise that the crowd has now surrounded us, and we're unable to remove the ambulance.
Larry calls for assistance.
We're definitely going to need some help having 7th Street cleared and a fire lane kept open.
His team can't get people to the medical help they need. Across town, Chief Rubin is within blocks of the apartment blaze. The fire is still raging, out of control. Putting it out may require help from beyond DC's borders.
So get whatever resources you need. But I expect we're going to have to call in some units from outside the city.
At the scene, battalion commanders and deputy chiefs direct strategy from inside a mobile command unit. Chief Rubin heads directly there. He's just in time to get the bad news. Residents are trapped inside the burning building.
Chief, you got people at the windows in the rear, top floor.
Just stay right there, don't move.
They have no means of escape. In Washington, D.C., firefighters battle a 3-alarm fire, burning out of control. People are trapped inside the building. The 911 center is deluged with calls.
I can see an apartment building on fire. There's a fire.
There's an apartment building on fire with people hollering in the windows.
There's smoke coming in the building. I don't know if I should go down the stairs or what.
What apartment are you in?
I'm on the 10th floor.
You on the 10th floor?
Yes. Please help!
There are residents threatening to jump.
Rescue group, I'm getting numerous apartment numbers. Are you copying these? 905 and 1009.
They're hanging at the back windows.
I copy.
Stay right there, don't move.
We need to keep our calm. If we're panicking, panic and excitement is contagious. So we try to keep our cool and tell them, stay like we are, we're good.
Inside the building, engine crews are setting up water lines. A rescue squad has been sent to the fire floor to search for trapped residents. From the mobile command unit, Chief Rubin and other commanders track their progress.
The fire is definitely not knocked down. We're in the apartment. We got heavy fire conditions and they're spreading. Copy.
It's too dangerous to evacuate residents through the hallway.
We're going to need a ladder. The hallways are too full of smoke.
The only other choice is the windows at the back of the building. So ladder crews remove all barriers, like this delivery van, and get their trucks into position.
29 aerial ladders going up as we speak to the 9th floor. We have one person in apartment 1013.
But the ladders aren't quite stable enough to reach all of the apartments. Until the fire is under control, firefighters won't be able to rescue all of the trapped residents. And if that's not bad enough, firefighters are going missing.
We're unsure of Team A's whereabouts. Okay, the officer unaccounted for, Sergeant Ralph Thompson.
Firefighters missing, residents trapped. It's the chief's worst nightmare. But it doesn't take long for the situation to turn around. Firefighters make it through to the source of the flames.
Copy. Division 9, you're reporting a fire knockdown on the 9th floor.
Just under 40 minutes after this fire was called in, the flames are extinguished. But several residents still need to get out. Toxic smoke chokes the building.
Setting up 2 rescue groups, one for the 9th floor, one for the 10th floor.
Now that the fire is knocked down, rescuers can escort remaining residents down the stairs. And there's more good news. The final count. One firefighter suffered smoke inhalation. A few residents and another firefighter with minor injuries. But remarkably, no casualties. Meanwhile, across town on Capitol Hill, the streets are still choked with political protesters, making it impossible for medics to get people out of the crowd and to medical treatment. Now, Larry Schultz gets the help he requested.
Our police are implementing the fire lane. We're also going after the ambulance that's been surrounded.
Why, thank you, sir.
Finally, the way is cleared, and ambulances can transport protesters in need of medical attention to hospital. The way is also cleared for this man.
That's a pretty good sized crowd.
Pete Pieringer handles media relations for Washington's Fire Department and Emergency Medical Services. He's been feeding official information about today's rally to media outlets across the nation. In his car or on the street,
Hello, Pete.
Pete always has one ear open to the 911 dispatch channel. And now there's a new emergency unfolding across town.
Technical Rescue Task Force respond on the escalator collapse.
Okay, so there's a report of a structure collapse, and we are sending a mass casualty task force over there.
Early reports indicate an entire escalator has collapsed with serious injuries. Pete needs to get there pronto. Reporters are on the scene demanding answers. The 911 center has dispatched a canine unit, traveling in the red SUV just ahead.
So we got Sergeant Holmes right in front of us with the search and rescue.
9th and D, southwest.
Sergeant Holmes and his canine partner specialize in locating buried victims.
Escalators can have really big pits to them. People can fall down, get entangled and trapped, so we want to make sure we're not leaving any victims behind.
But it appears initial information about the incident was incorrect.
The escalator did not collapse. It was going fast, slow, and then stopped.
There are injuries, but no one's buried. Pete needs to know exactly what did happen. He doesn't want incorrect information going out to the media. He follows emergency crews to the scene of the incident. Unsure whether this was an accident or sabotage, investigators impose a security cordon around the scene. Eyewitnesses say the escalator went crazy. It sped up, then stopped abruptly, hurling people off their feet. Why and how is still a mystery. But Pete has enough information to start releasing it to reporters.
Appeared to be a malfunction of some sort. with the Escalator. We have a couple of injuries. A couple of them are serious.
He briefs waiting news teams.
This is a fairly steep and long escalator here, and we had at least 4 injuries. One of them was a fairly serious injury, what we call priority 1, which means serious and life-threatening.
Now reporters have what they need to get the story out. DC firefighters rush to a call in Washington's southeast side.
We encountered a lot of dark smoke. Looked like it originated in the basement.
It's a small fire, but with big consequences. It's been an hour and a half since a major fire ravaged a high-rise apartment in downtown Washington, D.C. Now the mop-up is underway. Chief Dennis Rubin is here to assess the damage and determine if the building is safe for investigators to enter. His department's gear is well ordered. Hoses rolled up, equipment stashed, ready to be stowed back on the trucks. But the building is a disaster. Chief Rubin meets up with his safety officer, Mitch Molinoff. Mitch must ensure that the building's water protection systems are back in working order.
The water gong is not reset. We have fire protection coming to take a look. They have a dry pipe system that's stripped. I checked that already. Other than that, I think we're going to be in good shape. Dry pipe sprinkler. But the sprinkler never activated. I went and looked. Thanks. Yeah.
It appears an unattended candle was the cause of the fire, but it will be up to fire investigators to confirm that. Chief Rubin is satisfied that the building is safe for those inspectors to enter.
Okay.
At Chinatown Express, the alarm is silent for once, a rare break in the action at this busy fire hall. Firefighter Dave Orsi takes advantage of the lull to bone up on a new set of skills.
Make sure I put the battery in the right way. It's kind of self-explanatory.
Dave's been a DC firefighter for 5 years, but now he's hoping to win a position on Rescue Squad 1.
Going through some initial training, and then at the end of the 90 days, I'm going to have a test. And that just means I'm not fully qualified to be on the rescue squad yet.
He has 30 days left on probation before he's tested on his rescue skills. Housed here at Chinatown Express, Rescue 1 is one of 3 elite life-saving units within DC Fire and EMS. Squad members are specially trained to deal with the most challenging rescue situations. They specialize in high-angle rescues, using ropes, pulleys, slings, and baskets to pull victims to safety. For his final test, Dave must know these procedures inside out, and he must also be intimately familiar with all rescue gear. Like his self-contained breathing apparatus, a tank and mask system that allows rescuers to breathe in smoke-choked conditions, or anywhere the air is unsafe.
So here I'm checking out my SCBA, checking my gauges, just make sure it all works.
If the apparatus fails, Dave could be toast.
And then I'm gonna check my air, make sure my face piece and regulator are working.
Check my blow-by.
Just check my seal, check my vibro alert. If you stay motionless for 10 seconds, your pack will start to go off. I'm just going to reset it.
If Dave were trapped or unconscious, the alarm would alert his squad mates. He'll also be tested on a mountain of technical information.
The tool operates at whatever the spec says. Unit operates the same pressure all the time, 2,000 or 10,500. No, regardless of the tool.
So all the tools are operating at 10,500.
All the tools in this, remember the second stage.
Squad veteran and mentor Mike Puglisi helps him study.
What's it say on your cards for a rank?
Dave's working hard to make the cut. His mentor knows it's a stressful time.
It's a reflection of who you are and what you want to be, and you're trying to prove not only to yourself, but to your company that you're going to be an asset to them.
2 tools connected, same power, 2 tools operating at the same time for the other 2 parts. Correct. Yeah, I just keep reading my note cards and studying and getting my little whiteboard and writing down and erasing and have my wife quiz me, and hopefully I'll succeed in it and pass the 90-day test and be a full-fledged member of Rescue Squad 1.
A month from now, Dave will get his answer. On Capitol Hill, the last of the afternoon's political protesters has drifted off. Larry Schultz and his crew of medical personnel pack up their operation. But at the 911 center, another frantic call comes in.
There's smoke coming out the front door. They say it's coming from the basement.
It's a house fire. While firefighters control this fire quickly, it's not the end of the story. The resident is left with a devastating mess. 30 minutes ago, she had a cozy little home.
When we came inside, we encountered a lot of dark smoke, a lot of black smoke, very little heat, no visible fire. It wasn't until we started opening the walls up that we started encountering any type of fire.
The crew must ensure every last ember is extinguished. So they go through the house with a fine-toothed comb and a sledgehammer. The process is called an overhaul, and it's a destructive one. Walls, floors, and ceilings are opened up to make sure there are no hidden embers or sparks that could rekindle the fire.
It looked like it originated in the basement. I'm not an investigator. Please don't hold me to this. But it looked like it started downstairs and ran up this wall. All of this was ductwork right here that we've already taken out.
Fire follows oxygen, creeping up air spaces between the walls.
It was inside of the wall, and this wall was intact. And it wasn't until I opened it up with the bar right here that we encountered more smoke. And then the fire was obviously visible. We're gonna cut it, and then try to wet it down.
The overhaul will leave this home in tatters.
Hey, cool. Who goes in the basement to start putting a line on this, keep it in check, because that's still burning.
It's the only way to be sure the fire is well and truly out. At Chinatown Express, Dave Orsi and his team are just sitting down to supper when a call comes in from the 911 center.
Local emergency squad 1, 4-star elevator. Elevator number 10 on the 5th floor.
On the 5th floor of a downtown building, a woman is trapped in an elevator. It's a common call for Rescue Squad 1, but Dave knows even a routine call can go sideways. The squad takes the working elevator to the 5th floor. They have no problem getting the door open.
Oh, wait. We needed to... Yeah, we need to kill the power.
But they won't allow the woman to exit until the power's cut. If she were to step out and the elevator dropped suddenly, she could be cut in 2.
She's coming off. We don't want it to move, because it can still move if the power's on. Basically, we're sending 2 people up to the top. They're going to open up the outside doors to the one above us and kill the power.
Dave and his mentor, Mike Puglisi, head to the floor above to access the top of the elevator cage. Dave flips the power switch on the stalled car to immobilize it.
Yeah, I'm alright.
Power's off, Lou. That's it.
Now the woman can exit the elevator safely.
Lieutenant's pulled the patients out of the elevator and we'll close here. And we're good.
And Dave is one incident closer to securing his position as a bona fide member of Rescue Squad 1. A hidden hazard takes a DC firefighter by surprise.
It came around me and it was around my neck.
That is a fireman's worst nightmare.
Only quick action gets this rescue worker out hours after a fire devastated a high-rise apartment building in Washington, D.C. Investigators and cleanup crews are still hard at work. Power is out to the building's elevators. So it's a hike up to the 9th floor. Where Captain Ed Smith gets a first-hand look at the dangers his men faced inside the burning building. Captain Smith heads up one of 2 rescue squads that responded to this 3-alarm fire. While other firefighters got the water flowing, his team risked it all to rescue residents trapped in apartments closest to the fire.
You can imagine this being total blackout conditions. And a fireman crawling into that stuff because they had to crawl on hands and knees down this hallway to even make that apartment at the end.
This is where one of the captain's men nearly lost his life.
Under these high heat conditions, these cables, so most of the cable TV and telephone, they're not high voltage. But they melt down and you see all the entanglement hazards.
Squad member Philip Jervis was crawling down the pitch-black hallway when the cables fell, wrapping around him.
It's not a good feeling at all. When I was caught, it came around me and it was around my neck, and I was trying to get to my snips.
So that is a fireman's worst nightmare, to be in total blackout conditions, high heat, and then tangled up in these cables.
Philip might not have made it out alive, if not for his partner on the rescue mission, Chris Birch.
It was pretty tough. My partner's got caught up in the conduit, so I had to cut him out of the conduit a couple times.
He couldn't even see. He basically felt up me till the wires and cut him. And then once he cut him, I was able to rip him off.
It was a heart-stopping moment for everyone on the squad.
But everybody stood up and did the perfect thing.
All in a day's work for a DC firefighter. And their death-defying duties keep rolling in. At the 911 center, the phone lines light up with a series of distress calls.
Ambulance, someone just fell on the track.
Hi, someone just fell on the track and got run over by a train.
Someone just fell upon a train.
The details vary, but the basic story is the same. Someone has been struck by a train.
Metro Rescue Alarm, Engine 2, Rescue Squad 2, EMS 6, Medical and Ambulance 25, and the safety officer responds for a report of a person hit by a train.
Media relations man Pete Pieringer picks up the report on his radio.
Yeah, sometimes you have unfortunate circumstance where people commit suicide. They jump very effectively, jump in front of a train. Of course, don't know what the circumstances are here.
A host of emergency personnel, including 2 rescue squads, race to the scene. They hope there's still a life to save. They arrive, armed with an arsenal of specialized extrication equipment, including their sked, a rolled-up stretcher used to slide victims out of tight spaces. The victim is under the train, but the track is still live with 750 volts of electricity. Electrocution is a real risk. As soon as the power's off, rescue crews start working on extricating the man. Meanwhile, Pete has arrived and gathered some basic facts. This man did jump.
We had a person that was struck by the train. That person's like about a half car back, and well, you can see where the firefighters are working right there. That's where the person is.
There's some good news.
The person that got struck by the train has some traumatic injuries, but is communicating with our rescuers.
So he's alive. Rescue squads can get under the train to extricate the injured jumper. But can they work fast enough to save him? DC firefighters work desperately to save a man struck by a train. They've got to move fast. The man's legs are mangled, and he's bleeding badly. But the victim is underneath the train, about 15 meters back from the front of the first car. Battalion Chief Benson's crew is part of the response team for this emergency. The chief sends rescue workers under the train to get the man onto the sked.
Sked is hard plastic, which is great for this hard concrete surface. Just slides right along. They can package basically wrapped around and encompass the victim, which immobilizes them and kind of makes them into a smaller profile for removal.
But there's only 46 centimeters between the bottom of the train and the track bed. A tight squeeze for rescuers as they crawl 15 meters back and slide the sked carefully under the injured man. Once the victim is secured, other firefighters use ropes to carefully haul the sked out. The rescuers move with the victim, keeping him calm and guiding the stretcher smoothly between the rails. They must inch out backwards, gripping with their toes. It's a slow, painstaking process. The victim finally emerges. Rescuers pass the man to a waiting EMS crew, who will transport him to the nearest hospital. The rest of the response team packs up, anticipating their next call.
It may seem like overkill to some people, but as you can see here, everybody was pretty much working. Everybody has their assigned function and make the total incident, come out with a good outcome.
Pete wraps up for reporters.
So it took about 20 minutes or so, probably, to effect the rescue. Pulled him out from underneath the train, and off we went to the local trauma center.
But the night's not over. Back at Chinatown Express in the Special Ops room, Larry Schultz directs a late-night briefing about a major event taking place tomorrow. For the second time in 24 hours, DC's fire and emergency medical response must deal with a massive crowd in the city's downtown. This time, a marathon.
Let's jump right in. The route starts in Arlington County.
The race attracts some 30,000 runners. Hundreds of them will end up injured, exhausted, or otherwise in need of medical attention.
What are the resources there, Henry?
Division number 4 will have ALS units, BLS units, bike team, and gators.
Other medical emergencies will inevitably crop up among the over 100,000 spectators lining the race route. All 42 kilometers of it. Larry and his team will have their hands full, but there's more. In recent weeks, someone has been taking pot shots at public buildings.
The extra coordination for security has been very challenging.
DC Fire and EMS must act as extra eyes and ears for a joint security force set up for the race.
Be aware for suspicious activities.
The day will be a marathon for everyone on the team. In Washington, D.C., fire and EMS crews prepare to deal with 30,000 runners and over 100,000 spectators attending today's marathon. For the next 8 hours, they'll be on the go, attending to injuries, dealing with exhausted runners, and keeping an eye out for any hint of suspicious activity. At the Mobile Command Unit, DC Police Chief Kathy Lanier checks in with Larry Schultz before the race gets going.
Hopefully you guys get a break. You all got crossed yesterday, didn't you? I was amazed the crowds got so big yesterday.
Chief Lanier has the job of ensuring safety for thousands of runners and spectators stretched along the 42-kilometer race route. And recent events in Washington have added another layer of concern.
We've had 4 different incidents where military sites have been struck by gunfire. Certainly on heightened alert, and I think the extra coordination for security has been very challenging.
The shooter hasn't targeted people, but Chief Lanier can't take any chances. DC's emergency and security agencies are out in force for today's race. Starting now. 2 hours in, the race is proceeding smoothly. Emergency personnel keep an eye out for anything suspicious.
Anything that doesn't seem normal to you, anything that doesn't seem right, please pass them up the chain of command so we can get them addressed.
Larry's team is also busy with medical concerns. Runners are starting to drop.
You can see in the areas of the race, mile markers like 12 through 20 is where you have most of your resources. That's where you have most of the problems.
You all are keeping an eye out on the channel side for a female who may be experiencing some difficulty. Just keep an eye out for a patient who looks like they may be struggling through the course.
At the 32-kilometer marker, Rescue 1's Pete Bagdovitz looks out for runners on the edge of exhaustion.
Rookie runners, they forget to eat, forget to hydrate, and they just run out of energy.
Even at the food stations?
Like driving your car without putting fuel on. Eventually it's going to run out.
This runner taps out with just a few kilometers to go. As the last stragglers finish today's marathon, Larry and his team wrap up operations. Nothing suspicious turned up, but almost 70 runners were treated on the course. Another 10 were transported to hospital.
We were ready, we had the resources loaded there, and I think we were able to accomplish everything we had set out to do.
Now, it's on to the next job. DC Fire and EMS will respond to hundreds more calls today.
How can I help you?
It's business as usual. Seasoned commanders guide their troops with confidence.
Been there, they've seen it, they know what the positive effects are, they've seen what negative effects are, and then they can rapidly make those decisions under a lot of stress.
New recruits work hard to earn a place on the team.
And just being part of the Firefighter family is pretty wild, pretty intense.
The #1 priority, keeping people alive.
We're trying to save them just like they were our mom, our grandmother, our father, our brothers.
Even when their own lives are in danger.
The first instinct is to jump out of the command bus and run in there and go find your guys. But you got to fight that off and do the best you can and try to keep everything running smooth.
They're ready to risk it all, anytime, any place.
We're always geared up and ready to go for the worst case.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. These are the people who keep America's capital safe from harm.
Pretty much every